Okay, my name is Justin. This is AI for the Masses, and I am continuing my development of my indie game, The Story of Someone. I've been playing around with what might be like an ending credit song, and that's what's playing in the background right now. I'll let it play for a little bit while I'm kind of setting up. But today, I'm going to try and get a walking NPC back into the game using my new animation techniques.
Dreams of hope around you spread, though none shall cheer you on. The shield you hold invisible, yet stronger than the sword. Your name unsung, unknowable, yet future's hope restored. Rise up, oh hidden one.
Hopefully that was a turning down. All of a sudden it looked like the volume was super high. So I'll go ahead and mute it just to be safe. Yeah, so the idea for today is to try and get this game. Let's see what happens if I get this game to have people again. So right now, the people are invisible. And the concept of them still exists, but you can't see any visuals because I made some adaptations to the game, and in anticipation for having a new way of animating my characters. So I'm gonna see in this stream how far I can get to getting some characters back on the map. They'll probably all look the same at first, but baby steps. And I also noticed that my color palette was incomplete. I only had 29 of the 32 colors for my palette, and I also rearranged the palette. So I can show you my new animation program and give a quick overview of how this intends to work. So now what I have are frames. So it's hard to see down in the actual frames here where I've pasted the individual frames, but behind my head here is the result of the different frames. So I have an animation that I can speed it up or slow it down. That is basic walk animation. But the lines are just there for my reference. What is actually important here are the actual joints. So I have joints for, I call it the foot, but it's really the heel or the ankle. I'm probably going to add toes. In fact, I might do that like this stream, like add toes, so that way I can have an actual foot. I don't know how important that will be, but I'm gonna go ahead and add it in for now. And so it kind of looks like if you're able to look closely enough, you can kind of see how the foot kind of looks like it's hovering over the ground. That's because I made it an ankle or a heel, and I intend to add toes, so that way there's a little bit of a length to the foot, and then I can put shoes and change the angle of the shoes. So, and I don't have arms or a head yet. I just wanted to kind of get this basic walking animation going. So we might have headless people walking around temporarily, just for me to set up the, I guess you could say, like the foundation of this idea and test its entire path from beginning to end. So I got a basic walking animation going, and there's a foot, a knee, two sides of a hip, two shoulders. The shoulders should probably be a little bit further apart than the hip, but again, I'm not. Well, the character is actually walking to the side, so they are wider, but you're looking at the character from the side. And the only reason why I even have them side by side like this at all is just so that way I can keep track of like which leg is where. And the legs are left and right legs, and I do keep track of that because it might be important to the art, and I also wanted to keep track of which leg was which, for other reasons that I'm just anticipating might be important. So the joints are really the important thing, and then I have a little button right over here, and it exports the coordinates in a 64 by 64 pixel grid of the location of the joints as a JSON file. So then the concept is that I will draw procedurally generated assets and connect them to the joints. And then I can make any animations I want that are standard animations, and the art will then be attached to those animations. So let's see how far I can get today with some of this. And this might end up being a very short stream, and this stream might primarily just be an update of my progress more than seeing actual progress being made today. Because I don't think I'm going to have a lot of time to stream, but let's see what we can do. So I'm just going to do a prompt. Probably need to start over and give the AI my entire code base. So let's do that. And then let's do my little consolidate. All right. So now consolidated files, my general coding rules, and turn the temperature to 0. Okay, so I wonder, should I, okay, I think, this should be, is this the JSON file? No, this is a saved animation file. Okay. I gotta see if I have the JSON file. Where do I end up saving that JSON file? Because I want to have that in the code base, so that way the game knows what the file looks like. And I am not sure. Okay, it's not those. Uh-oh. So, well, actually, hold on a second. So let me bring that program back up. So I'm going to go back into that subdirectory. And let me actually export. I don't know if I've actually exported this version that I created. So I got to load it again. And then let's actually do the export and see where it ends up. All right. So, okay, assets. Okay, yeah, it's not where I want it to be. So it's not in my it's outside of my root directory for the game completely. Let's get it in there. Let's put it in the assets folder. I'm going to put it, I need to make a folder. Okay. Doing this off screen, so bear with me here. I'll do walk right 8 frames. All right, and I should reconsolidate my code so that way that file is included in the code base. All right, let's do that. So let's back up again. I gotta run my consolidate program one more time. Okay, is it in there? Yep, right there. Oh, you guys can't really see. I mean, it might be too small even in this view, but I can see it in my list of processed files. So, good. So let me go ahead and get rid of this. And let's grab the new version. Okay. All right. I want to test creating the assets for NPCs in the main game. In the assets directory, I have an NPC folder with a JSON file that has 8 frames with the coordinates. Can't spell coordinates, come on. The coordinates of a right direction walking animation. I would like to draw pixels between the joints in a 64 by 64 pixel grid. I just realized I'll do this while it's processing. I have to remember I'm going to do a git commit because I like where I'm at right now and I'm about to make a big change. So let me go ahead and git add, and then I'll git commit, and I'll make the message of what I have done while Gemini is processing this prompt. So let me finish this prompt. And okay, so I'd like to draw pixels between the joints in 65 by 64 pixel grid. For simplicity, should I just let it decide how to do this? Let's make the feet, legs, both the shin and thigh separately. The torso. Do not worry right now about drawing the arms or head. Oh boy, I have a hard time spelling separately, huh? What else am I adding to this prompt? Make a tile set with 8 tiles from the template of the JSON file titled walk right 8 frames dot JSON. Trying to decide how much I should have the AI create, like anatomy or just clothing. Hey, has anything? Yeah. What I'm working on today is I'm gonna try and get my NPCs back into my town, and as soon as I press enter on this prompt, I'll show you what template I've created that hopefully I can bridge the gap that I have made of my new animation sandbox and the game itself. So my town is a ghost town right now because I kind of derailed how the NPCs are displayed in the game in anticipation for this new method that I'm trying. So I like the method that I have, but I haven't gotten all the way to the final step yet, and I'm hoping to do that in this stream. I don't intend this to being a very long stream, so hopefully I can make a small but important step right now, right here and now. So let's see, what else do I need? So don't worry about drawing the head and arms. Make a tile set with 8 frames. Okay, use this tile set for the NPCs in the town. When walking left, flip the tile set. When walking up and down, for now, just use the walking right animation. Okay, the AI is pretty smart. I feel like there could be some other things I could be adding to this, but I think it already kind of knows from the code what the point is. So I'm going to go ahead and run that, see what it comes up with. And then let me do my commit here. Added skeleton animation sandbox for NPCs with feet, legs, and torso. I think I kind of already made this commit. What is it that I actually did add in this one? Oh, well, yeah, rearranged the color palette. Yeah, I made a very, very small changes in this commit, I think. Very small, so that's fine. That's good enough. Oops. Oops. Oh, typo in my command here. There we go. Okay, so now that that's taken care of, let's look a little bit at what it is that I was doing. So this is the new version of my animation sandbox. I believe the last time I streamed, I actually had a color palette error that I wasn't completely aware of, where I actually didn't have all 32 colors in my color palette in my animation program, and I rearranged my color palette to be in a way that I felt made a little bit more sense. So now I have like them organized by major color categories like red, orange, yellow, green. And I even played around a little bit. Oh, not with this art project, but I increased the pixel count in the canvas to 64 squared, and to allow me a little bit more smoothness with the animation, and then I assigned colors to different joints in the body. So the best one that I've made so far. Oh, really? Where do I save this? Uh-oh. I think it is here. Yes. Good. I do know what I'm doing. Okay. So it's off. It's behind me, but right here is my basic first and best attempt so far of a walking animation. So it's just the skeleton of the feet, knees, hip joints, and shoulder joints, and they're in a coordinate space now. The lines are just there to help me with visualization. They are not actually functionally important. And what I can do is I can export a JSON file that has, down here on the bottom left, that can have the coordinates of the different joints in all 8 frames. And then that JSON file is intended to be used by the main game to draw the art assets and connect them to those anchor points where the joints are going to be. And hopefully it'll be able to rotate the asset art and the different segments, like a thigh or a shin or a shoe or a pair of pants, in a way that I can then procedurally generate all the individual pieces of the NPC. Yeah. Yeah, see the emojis there. Yeah, so we're about to find out how Gemini is going to interpret my goal here. And I have a feeling that I have enough code already set up that if it understands my goal, it should just take me straight to the result here. Okay, action import animation JSON. Interesting. Let me see how I'd interpret this. Okay. First, we'll update the NPC. Oh, you can't see what I'm looking at. First, we'll update the NPC animation sandbox to import animation data from your JSON file and generate the corresponding frames. Really? Huh. But then you got to pull it from the higher directory. I wonder how that's going to be a problem. Okay, and then we've got. Looks awesome. Yeah, thank you. Well, we're gonna see. Like, I'm a little nervous about this one. I think I'm trying to go too fast, and this is probably gonna take me more than one stream. But you never know. These AIs are pretty good, but I'm already a little skeptical here with how it's interpreting, like, where my JSON file is and who in the code needs to be doing what. So I don't really like it that it's pulling the JSON that just got exported technically from the animation sandbox and then pulling it back into the animation sandbox. So app config, but this is why you do git commits. You can mess up all you want and you should be fine. So let's see, you want to add action export animate. Okay, so now we're doing an import animation JSON. Okay, I see what you're doing. All right, I'm not too confident about this idea. We'll go with it. Okay, and then animation data. This is a new file? Yeah, it is a new file. Okay. All right, animation data. Oh, this is a short update. All right. This is surprisingly small. Okay, now we'll add a line drawing capability to your pixel canvas. Man, really? So Are we actually getting these? Is the import of the graphics to the town already like set up for me? Okay, draw a line on a grid. Is this a new method? Okay, to the pixel canvas class. Okay, but I don't think it's complete. There's no close brackets down here. Yeah, Gemini's been doing this a little bit lately. Okay, so I need. Can you give me the complete file for pixel canvas.cs? Yeah, this is like the second time today Gemini has given me an incomplete file, and especially when it's a new file, that's not helpful. And the other one, it gave me a partial file, but didn't even give me the method in the file that actually had the change. So that's all right. It's still amazing. Are you working on adding the walk cycle into the game? Yeah, that's the goal, is to have some. They're probably going to be decapitated, armless NPCs, but I want to get the NPCs back into the town again using this new animation method, instead of having floating pink squares or just a static image of a person floating around. I want there to actually be a walking animation. Then if I can get this, if I can connect the sandbox to the game successfully, even with the simple version I have, then that means I can just start adding more animations. Okay. Yeah, this looks more like it. All right. Nice big file. All right, that should do. I don't even know what you want me to run. I guess I run the whole game. So let me. Yeah, I don't feel in control right now. Let's see what happens. Okay. Go into the town. Okay, there's some red lines. Are there any people of any kind? So far, I don't. Oh, wait, I bumped into somebody. Some invisible person got in my way. But yeah, again. But yep, there they are, but can't see them. So I can feel it. Like I walk and I get hung up. Yep, there. I'm still pushing to the left and I'm not moving to the left, and I just got punched up into the countertop. So the NPCs do exist, just can't see them. All right, let's see what I can add here. Like, okay, the NPCs are interacting with my player, but I cannot see them. I think I have to do one of those. Let's brainstorm how we're going to do this, and then give me a step-by-step plan. So I'm going to describe what I can here. The idea is to have the skeleton of joint positions from the JSON file be a template for drawing asset art for the NPCs. Then I want to display them, display the NPCs animations in the town for the town's folk. All right. Where is the tile set that we will use going to be placed in the code base. I don't really like how I'm asking that question, but it'll work for now. I just want to get some information. I'm trying to interrogate the AI as to how it's interpreting my goal here. Let's brainstorm how we will use the NPC animation sandbox output, draw the NPC graphics, and display the 8-frame animation in the game for the townsfolk. Give me a step-by-step plan, and let's talk about it. All right, I want to know what you're thinking, AI. Don't just do whatever you want. Anyway, yeah, I just want to be able to see the people again. I bet you if I go up in here and I just kind of click the interact button, yeah, so I can still shop. I can still find them, but I can't see them. They're just invisible ghosts right now. And I want to solve this animation problem so that way I can have animations where they're standing or sitting or messing around on the ground or picking flowers or working on a farm, all that kind of stuff. Like getting into bed, and I can just make standard animations. And then the idea is that since I'd have like a standard skeleton with coordinates in a JSON file, I can then have the code change the height and the dimensions and the proportionalities between the joints to create shorter people, taller people, and then the assets can make legs and things that are fatter and skinnier. I can change the color of the clothing, I can change skin tone, I can change head shape, and all I have to do is then position the heads based on the different data. Children have slightly different body proportions. Elderly may walk differently and things like that. So I just want to make like a baseline adult, baseline child, and then I can choose gender and then change the clothing, change the hairstyle, things like that after the fact, and just paste it onto the skeleton. Still not 100% confident that I've thought of every avenue of this plan, but still feeling pretty confident about this next step. So, of course, let's see what we got. Of course, this is an excellent and crucial point in the development process. It's the bridge between the technical skeleton and the visual art. You're right, the NPCs are currently invisible because the NPC renderer is looking for a final art asset, walk animation.png, that we haven't actually created yet. Good. Okay, now let's break down the entire workflow from your animation JSON to move to a moving NPC in the game. Okay, good. So it's acknowledging. I thought that was a very way oversimplified update that it just did. So where the tile set goes. First, to answer your direct question, the final assembled 8-frame animation tile set, walk animation.png, that the main game will use should be placed in asset graphics NPCs. Okay, agreed. The NPC renderer in the game is already hard-coded to look for a file named walking animation.png. All right, brainstorm and step-by-step plan. Here's a detailed plan that outlines the entire process. This workflow uses your NPC animation sandbox as a powerful tool for both templating and final assembly. The core idea is to use the sandbox to generate guides, do the creative art in an external program, and then use the sandbox again to assemble the final sprite sheet. Okay. Step 1, generate animation frame guides. The goal here is to get the stick figure animations out of the sandbox and into a format your art program can use as a template. Okay, so launch the animation sandbox. Oh, click the new import. No. I don't want to do this manually. Select your walking frame JSON file. You'll see the sandbox sprite sheet view. Populate the 8 stick figure frames. Now we'll export each frame one by one. No. So, okay, good. I'm glad I asked it to explain its thought process here. And I think the the catalyst for it to not be on the same page as me is the fact that I put the JSON file in the main game directory. So it's trying to one, make this a manual process, which is not my goal. And in hindsight, I realized I wasn't super clear in my prompt. It's a perfectly legitimate assumption. And let's see. Let me read a little further. Now we'll export each frame one by one. Click on the first tile in the sprite sheet. Yeah, and also I have these animation softwares with this ability to export sprite sheets. So I think it naturally was like, well, you got this program that exports sprite sheets, so use your program and make the sprite sheets. No, that wasn't my intention. I want the sprite sheet to be made behind the scenes. So I might have to make a sprite sheet, like drawing sandbox. Interesting. And I think I need to remove the feature in my animation sandbox where I can export sprite sheets and tile sets, because I think it's confusing the AI. All right. This is one of the first times that I have had where the AI has genuinely gotten confused based on something in my code that didn't need to be there anymore, but I didn't remove the feature because I didn't really think that through, that I probably don't need it. So in this, you can see I have these buttons here where I can export the tiles. So these tiles here can get exported as tile sets or sprite sheets. I can select an individual tile and just export that one, or I can select multiple and export an entire sprite sheet. But I don't intend on doing that for this program. This program's purpose is just to export the JSON. I have a completely different pixel art program that's outside of this code base that's for making sprite sheets. So first thing, I got to do a little bit of housekeeping and get rid of these, and then regroup again with the AI and be like, look, that feature's gone now. Now, what should we do? Okay, so this plan is not what I had in mind. I want the sprite sheet for the animation to be made autonomously by the code behind the scenes. I do not want to make the sprite sheet manually. First, let's remove the tile and sprite sheet export features from the animation sandbox. Give me the updated files with the feature removed, and let's talk about the plan with your new understanding of the process again. Okay, I think I need to be more clear about what other steps I'm not wanting or how I want to replace this. So let me see what step 2 is. Create the NPC art. Open frame.png in your art editor. Create a new layer on the top of the stick figure layer. Yeah, no, you're asking me to draw all this myself. Okay. How can I... Let me make some corrections for step 1 first. So we're already getting rid of the whole export thing. yeah, this is going to be something that is going to take me multiple steps, and I just came on this stream just to show my presence. But I have a feeling this is going to be a multi-hours process, so I don't think I'm going to get to the end of it in this stream, because I am probably going to go in about 10 or 15 minutes. But definitely want to just put an update out there of what I've been working on, and you guys can see what it is that my plan is. Maybe I'll come back a little later tonight. I've had the energy, but I doubt it. Tomorrow is a big day. So let's see. What can I get? How can I get it on the same page as me here? This, I'm afraid I'm going to do something that I've done multiple times before and try to do too much all in one go. So assemble the final sprite sheet. So then it wants me to launch the sandbox again. Ensure the sprite to be no. Okay. Let's just give a general slap on the wrist and say, no, this isn't what I'm looking for. I want this to be autonomous, which is kind of what I already did. So step 1 should be, I appreciate the stream. There aren't other streamers working on projects like yours. Yeah, thanks. I mean, yeah, right? I hope that other people will be inspired by what you and I are doing. I know our audience is still in its fledgling state, but I do see that both of us are getting viewers, and I still search for other people who are actually like showing any sort of vibe coding, and it's not out there. And when I think about most of the criticism of vibe coding, I feel like what you and I are doing are they can be used as responses to that criticism, but no one is showing these techniques. Most of the content out there is basically saying it's great for coding. It makes me 10 times faster. Okay, show it. I'm sure you believe them. I know I believe them because we're doing it, but no one shows it. And I think it's going to be a new paradigm in how software is created. So I'm trying not to measure my progress in view count, just in days of streaming. Yeah, I agree. Show your work is a great motto. Yeah, I'm not trying to measure my success on view count as well. It's just a commentary on the reach for educational reasons, for bringing society to move to the next step of software development and using these new cutting edge tools. They're so insanely powerful, and most of the stuff I see online that's trying to spread the news is being so high level, so surface, so trust me, it's amazing kind of content, and not actually showing what it is they're doing so other people can learn. Because I think that there's a possibility, I try not to take for granted what's going on. Sometimes I find myself getting a little frustrated with other people. Be like, seriously, just try this. And I think there's two types of people that I'm experiencing, grouped in my head, of people who aren't trying this. There are the ones that are super resistant and stubborn, and there's some sort of threat to their identity by not being completely in the weeds with the coding process. And then there's the others that are intimidated in a way of, well, but I don't know what's going on. I don't understand what the AI is doing. I don't know what the code is doing. That I can't do that. That's scary. And trying to show that there's this middle ground, this little Goldilocks zone of knowing how to code and not necessarily needing to know everything that the AI is generating as far as the code is concerned, where you can get a lot done. And if you do want to know what the code's doing that the AI is writing for you, have an AI explain it to you. It's a wonderful educational tool. I can't imagine like trying to do like a software development course now with these tools in existence. Like as you're like learning and doing little exercises and things like that. Now when you're stuck with something, you're doing a lesson and like they're asking you to do a project in that course or something, and you're like, wait, how do I do this? Now you can ask the AI, still do the course, still learn all the details, but now you have this insanely intelligent tutor helping you out. And I've come across some situations where I've asked the AI to explain the code that it's written for me, so that way it just speeds it up, and then I go read it, right? And I do wrap my brain around it. But you've got this thing that can just read your entire code base for you and point out, go to this file, go to that file, read these lines. That's where we're doing this. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, now this is making sense. Yeah, I feel like there's not really a lot of content out there that is showing this process. So, my view count is really only valuable to me, and this is probably similar for you too as anything, for when my game's done. Like, having a wish list or having people that know what I'm doing, so that way if I do a Kickstarter, there will be some exposure. But yeah, I'm not planning on like making a whole bunch of money monetizing the YouTube channel or anything like that. Yeah, I hope people can benefit from seeing this. And this particular problem right here, trust me, inside my head, I am not quite sure exactly how I'm going to get from the beginning to the end of this problem. This one's tricky. Let's see. So, step 1, give me the updated files of the feature removed, and let's talk about the plan with the new understanding of the process. Again, step 1 should be the JSON is a set of coordinates. Just ask the AI will become 100 times more powerful than just Google it ever was. Yes, I know, right? People will start using AI when they see other people using. Yeah, it's going to take a while to spread. I just can't believe that. I mean, I lived through the .com bubble, but was too young to take advantage of it. I also didn't have a computer in my household, so I didn't have the tools to take advantage of it. And then I don't know. There's other little like technology races that probably I could have taken advantage of but missed, and I feel like this is the next one in my lifetime that for some reason I'm super into it, and it looks like I'm one of the insanely early adopters. So we'll see where this goes. I'm trying to take advantage of that position of being such an early adopter as much as I can. And try not to be frustrated that people around me aren't also taking advantage of it at the same level. Like, okay, well, I guess that if you don't want to, then that puts me at a bigger competitive advantage. So great, I'm gonna try and capitalize on that. I'm gonna make a game that I've always wanted to play, and I'm gonna do it in a way that it never could have been done before. All right. So step 1 should be the JSON is a set of coordinates that an autonomous asset drawer that we will code together. And hint, we are writing that code. You're not making me do it. Don't tell me what to do, AI. It's not your turn yet. You got to be smarter. Then you can take over humanity. Right now, I'm in charge. All right. So set of coordinates that an autonomous asset drawer. Okay, I'm just like word salad here. This isn't even like grammatically making any sense. So give me a second. So it should be JSON is a set of coordinates that autonomous asset drawer. Okay, comma that we will code together will make the, I'll just say the shapes of the various anatomical parts of the NPC's body. The drawing code may have to be its own sandbox. For testing, I would like, let's just start with lines. To start with lines for the legs and a box for the torso. I'm going to be way more specific. The legs will be between the feet or the oh, what you got here? I agree. I'm so grateful to finally be early. Yeah, right. Hopefully not too early. Oh, what do you mean by too early? That's an interesting thought. Like, yeah, what would too early be, and what would the consequence of being too early be that you're imagining? I'm curious. What concern you have there? Okay, for testing, I would like to start. Man, why am I pressing all the wrong buttons? With lines for legs and a box for the torso. The legs will be between the respective foot and the knee. Also, the knee and the respective hip joint. Make the line 2 pixels wide. I'm going to add that dimensionality to it so that way there is some logic in there about thickness as a placeholder. Let's see. I just don't want to wait around too long for everyone to figure it out. Too early sounds ominous. I'm just impatient. What is the personal benefit to you of other people figuring this stuff out? What are you anticipating? Make the line 2 pixels wide. The box should connect at the 4 corners with the hip joints and the shoulder joints. The next step is to take these drawings and create a sprite sheet with 8 frames at 64 by 64 pixels each frame. Perhaps we should make a sandbox. I'm being a little repetitive, but the AI is okay with that. Sandbox that takes the exported JSON file in an asset folder that I provide in the new sandbox and creates the sprite sheet. That sprite sheet can be viewed by me in the sandbox for testing. Let's start with those steps. Okay, yeah. I think I'm kind of reeling myself back in, not trying to do everything all at once and not doing everything fully autonomous. Let's test the first next step of this autonomous process in its own sandbox that I can run separately. So I can make the walking animation JSON file, put it in this new sandbox, and let the sandbox process the JSON file exclusively until I get it to work the way I want. Then the sandbox can export the results to the main game to animate the sprite sheet. Okay, let's go with that. What you got? As anything, I'm expecting everyone to build a web app. I think the ease and power of development will make everyone into a developer. If they make their own Airbnb, YouTube, MySpace, etc., then I can fix their code. Yes, and I remember you mentioning that in your live stream today, which, by the way, anybody who's watching, go check out As Anything's live stream. He does vibe coding, and he can help you learn how to vibe code and clean up any issues that you may have. He's a full stack developer, and it's good stuff. So, yeah, okay. I see what you're anticipating here. I got you. I'm putting the dots together. Cool. And what I think that it is that you're describing would be your role in this new paradigm is a lot of the positive responses that I see on no problem for the plug. The positive responses I see from people who are like, don't worry, all of that code, that terrible code and all those terrible websites that people are going to vibe code, that's just going to be work for all the experienced developers out there to clean up. And I'm like, exactly. Like, why are you guys being so negative about all this? If anything, it's going to create a market for you. So, like, embrace it. Stand by. Get ready to scoop it up. So, yeah, as anything, I think you have the exact right mindset for all of this. And I hope that it makes you independently wealthy in the process. All right. Let's see what I got here. Excellent clarification. I understand completely now. The goal is to create a fully autonomous pipeline. JSON coordinates, procedural drawing, sprite sheet. Yes. You at least understand the high level plan here. The sandbox will become a processor and viewer for this automated generation, not a manual art tool. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I hope so too. Yep. Hey, I always hope for other people's successes whenever I can. I try not to. Jealousy is it's a soul draining emotion, and we should all be trying to lift each other up. So, yeah, I just hope to be in a front row seat watching you succeed. As you requested, let's first remove the now obsolete manual export features from the... Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, so, yes, let's just get that out of the way. So, let me get back in here. UI config. Now, there's a chance that hopefully... Because I'm getting hungry. I did not eat before I started this stream. I just wanted to try and squeeze one in for consistency. Again, I'm getting strong influence from As Anything. Consistency is key. He streams every single day at the same time, and he's been very good about it. So if you need a consistent streamer that has high educational value for vibe coding, check out As Anything stream. He is very reliable, and you can count on him to show up. All right, as opposed to me, I'm so much more random. Click the notification button if you want to know when I'm streaming, because then it'll pop up on your on your feed. That's how you're gonna know when I'm streaming. All right. Okay, UI config. So, I mean, I could just get. Oh, you're just gonna give me a list of everything to remove? Oh, that's horrible. I don't want to do that. Oh. Let's see if it's all in the same order. It might not be too bad. Okay, so he starts with sprite sheet file name input X. So let me search for that. Sprite sheet file. Okay, good. Input X. Then file input width and file input height. Okay, seems to be everything's all kind of together here. Okay, this is looking promising. Then all the way down to export JSON button height. Okay, so delete that. And now where's the import? Because it has here these 3 imports. Import JSON button height. Okay, let me import. Okay, I don't think it's possible. I did never. It's thinking that I added the stuff that I never did. Okay, that's fine. So we'll save that. File name input height. Okay, this might. Oh, this is a location for a button that relies on something I probably just deleted. So I wonder if I can just give it a number. Hold on. Can I? Let me just temporarily bring that back. Does file input height 30? File name input height. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this into a 30. Oh well, let me re-delete. See, I know how to code a little bit. I know. I kind of know what I'm doing here, right? That does not count as me having written code. I modified existing code. It's still my goal to be able to say, I wrote this many, or I vibe coded a program that's this many lines of code long, and I wrote none of it. I still can say that. All I did was change a number. All right. App config. Just give me the file. No. Here, I'll remove the action identifiers for the deleted buttons. Okay, so app config. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need you to give me this. This is hard. It's hard to remove stuff. It's so much easier to add things than it is to remove. Okay, so action sprite. Action sprite sheet export. And then action focus filament input action. Okay, these 3. And then action export animation JSON. Okay. All right, project state. Oh, you can't really see what I'm doing. Zoom out. There we go. Even though it's not really that interesting, but yeah, if you're gonna watch, you might as well see what I'm doing here. Project state. You're gonna give me? Oh, yeah. Come on, this is a short file. You can remove. Yeah. All right, I'll just delete it myself. Oh, and then changed. Okay. Anything else? All right. 'All right. All 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 right. App context. Oh, come on. Please just give me the file. No, you're not just going to give me the file. Okay, no, this is way too long. Okay. Can you give me the full file for app context.cs? I should ask it for main game too. The main game is huge and has a lot of different things that's removing. I'm gonna so miss certain things. Oh, and then it includes the plan, the revised plan in the code box. Oh, Gemini, what is going on with you today? Okay, with the sandbox computer, here's a revised, fully autonomous plan. Oh, can you give me the full file for main game.cs as well? All right, I can't press enter just yet. Oh, now I can. Oop, forgot the .cs. All right. So step 1, create the autonomous drawing engine. We'll create a new class. Let's call it NPC frame renderer. I like it. Inside the NPC. Oh, what? Okay, hold on. Okay. This class will have one primary method, render frame. Is this what we want to do? Take a joint data from a single frame. Inside this method, we will implement logic to draw the NPC's body parts. I think I need to generate the JSONs and then manually put them in a different sandbox. So I don't mind. I have to manually draw these animations. So I might as well have that be a thing I do. I almost kinda-ish feel like I should have had the sandbox just to be a completely different piece of code outside of the code base for this game. And I probably could do that. Since it's not something that's necessary to exist packaged with the game, I may need to extract this from the game. It's not dependent on anything. Really, I think the only reason, I'm trying to remember, the only reason I think I included this sandbox was because I wanted the sandbox to be informed of how the game was going to use the sandbox. I wanted the AI to be informed. Like, hey, here's my whole game. I need you to make an animation drawing program that my game will be compatible with when I export the stuff. But now that it knows and it's come up with a decision that works, I think I can pull the sandbox out of the main code base of the game. And then I can just create the JSON files like I would pixel art, and then just import those JSON files into this new sandbox that will create the animations. So I still don't think I'm ready to implement the plan based on how it's interpreting things, but let's see here. Integrate the drawing engine into the sandbox. We'll modify the main game.cs import animation JSON method. When the user imports a JSON file, the code will automatically set the sprite sheet manager dimensions to match the number of frames in the JSON. It will loop through each frame in the JSON data. For each frame, it will call our new NPC frame renderer to get the grid to draw the NPC. It will then programmatically push this grid data into the correct tile in the sprite sheet manager. The result, the sprite sheet manager view will instantly populate with 8 fully drawn unique animation frames, all generated from code. The animation preview will start playing immediately. Okay, yeah, I do want a sandbox that will then show the animations of the JSONs. And another reason to possibly extract the animation sandbox from the game code is then I can run the program as its own executable and then still run the game's sandbox simultaneously. But I don't think I can really do that with the sandbox integrated into the game like this. Okay, final spreadsheet, yeah. Okay, well, let me just get these updated files here first. And since I do think that this is going to take some time, I'm probably going to come back to this later. I really do need to eat. My blood sugar is getting low here. Okay, full app context code. And then the complete main game code. Still got some errors in there. So I gotta make sure I clean those up. Set selection rectangle. Yeah, that's cool. But I don't want to do all this in the animation sandbox. I don't like that. So I have a feeling that what I am accomplishing today is a better understanding for myself on how this ultimate plan is going to be. And I have a feeling I'm just going to be reverting to my last commit and trying this again from scratch, teaching a new run of the AI what my plan is based on what I've learned about how it interprets, which is a perfectly fine process. You don't always, in fact, when it comes to anything worth doing, you almost never get it right on the first try. So this is all an iterative process. It's all part of innovation. And just this alone, I learned a lot about how to just navigate this idea in my own head and how I'm going to express it to the AI so it can make the new code. So what did I learn? I learned that I don't need the sandbox for the skeleton making in the game's code base, and that I am going to manually import the JSON files with the coordinates anyway. So remove the program and just put the JSON files into a new sandbox that just draws on the skeleton. And then that can be in the game because I want that sandbox to do the procedural generations of the images, and I want the main game to cue the drawing maker to draw a male adult, draw a fat male adult, draw a skinny female adult, draw a chubby kid, things like that. And then it will export a sprite sheet to the main game for animation. So I did not have that understanding and that plan in my head when I started this stream. So that ended up being the value of what I learned in this stream today. And I think that is as far as I can bring myself to work on this particular sitting. So I think I'm going to call it there. And yeah, so as always, man, I appreciate your attention. I love it when you come in and just chill during my streams. I like chilling on yours. So, I appreciate it. And again, anybody wants to see a more technical project, I think, mine's a little bit more about entertainment, and his is more about productivity. So check out As Anything stream. And yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll see you next time, and I'll say goodbye to everybody else as well. I'll see you on the next stream.